Salaki 24 and 4. Matthew 24, 4 through 13. Matthew 24, 4 through 13.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 4. Yeah, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For a nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in different places. All these are the beginnings of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall be many offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved.
But he that endures to the end, the same shall be saved. You go back and grab the context. The apostles, the elders asked Messiah, when's going to be the sign of your returning? So these are Israelites who believe on him now. They believe that he is the Son of the Most High. They're still keeping commandments. They're not going to a temple on SUN Day. They're not having Easter egg hunts. They're not keeping Christmas. These are Israelites who believe he is the one sent from Abba, and he is the one who's going to restore the nation. And they're asking him, what's going to be the sign of your second coming to the earth to heal us, to gather us? And Messiah gives them all these signs. It's going to be pestilence, wars, and rumors of wars. And I wanted to share this because this was on my spirit. I think I shared a part of it, or the last verse 13 on prayer this week. But I really wanted to share the whole passage, but we just didn't have enough time. These prophecies have been happening in cycles because two things. When they asked Messiah what's going to be the sign of his return, Messiah, who don't know everything, but he knew these men, our elders, wouldn't be alive in the flesh to see him return. So when Messiah answered them, he's speaking of a future time. But a lot of these things have been happening in cycles. So he says they're going to be you Israelites who believe on me, you Israelites who confess my name in the earth, they're going to hate you. They're going to hate you. There's going to be wars and rumors of wars. We know we're seeing that right now. There's going to be famine and pestilence. This so-called government is shut down. We're seeing these things right now. And then it says you're going to be hated of all men because of me. Some of the brothers make it easy to hate us because of their demeanor and their speech. But even the other ones, like you and I, who we're not out there being antagonistic. We're just out there wearing our garments. And when someone asks us, we kindly and politely share the truth of the Most High. And we're going to be hated whether you out there barking, screaming. There's no getting around it. Your family is talking behind your back now because you're messing up Thanksgiving. Everyone's at Thanksgiving except you. And you're the life of the party. You're the glue that keeps everyone together, but you're not coming to Thanksgiving. These things are leading to us being disliked by our very own family members. And then it says many false Christs are going to come in my name. And I remember as a child, it's not funny, but as a child, I remember thinking, well, I can keep sinning until we start seeing people say that they are Jesus. And then in my little childish mind, when I see people saying they are Jesus, I'm going to get saved so I can make it. But now, all praise to the great I am, I understand that people coming in his name, saying they are Christ, this is a translation. What he was telling them, many people are going to come in my fame, saying they're teaching me. And they're going to say they are Christ, not that they are the Christ, but in the Shemitic that they are anointed. They have been Mashach. So we see that right now. in both on both sides of the spectrum. You got Christians saying that they've been anointed, they're not keeping one law. They don't know one feast day. And now we got Israelites, Salakia. We have Israelites saying that they are the chosen, they've been anointed, and you don't know that the Son can't be the Father. So this is the time we're in. You're gonna have your good days and your bad days. I'm not in here perpetrating like every day I'm strong or every day I'm in. Some days I'm on the ropes. Some days I remain quiet, not to voice my concern. But then Abba already know where you're at, so you just start talking to Abba. I'm like, Father, look, I can't make one hair on my head gray or black. So if you don't take care of these bills, if you don't put food on the table, it is what it is. And then we have the scripture where Messiah says, as long as you have food, clothing, and raiment, it's enough. So I don't have to have an imported vehicle. I don't have to have red bottoms on. Messiah says, as long as I got food, clothing, and shelter, that's enough. So that's where we're at, family. And you're going to see today as we continue on, this prophecy of Messiah is relevant to our future, our past, present, and future. This prophecy right here is relevant to our past, present, and future. Any questions about the KARATAM? Any questions or comments? All right. I got another set of 12, but I don't think we're going to get through them because there's just too much reading. So, Nariah, are you free or you at the JO?
I'm at the big house today.
Okay. So, we all can help out. Zamaria, are you home or you out and about?
I'm free, Doc.
Okay, we're going to see how far we can get. Again, I don't want to rush this. It's too important to rush through it just to get through the slides. So we're going to see how far we can get. This is Oaths and Covenants Part 8. Oaths and Covenants. And if Zamaria, can you start us off with the first slide? And can you get it in the Septuagint? Oaths and Covenants Part 8. And I want to read these in the Septuagint. And you're going to see those who got the KJV, the Masoretic text, comparative to translations, you'll see how poorly the Masoretic text reads. But we're going to pull these from, all of these are coming from Isaiah. Before we get started, I get in teacher mode, I get going. All of these are coming from Isaiah. And if you do the research, where are we at here? Slakia. Isaiah prophesied over the span of 60 plus years. The theologians try to guesstimate, but he tells you at the beginning of his letter, at the beginning of his record, he saw these visions, or the Most High gave him these visions or these words through the span of like 4 or 5 kings. So the Most High was prophesying, the Most High was speaking to Isaiah a very long time. And so a lot of what he saw, some of it covered his day, some of it covered the time of the apostles, but a lot of it has not been manifested yet. And that's one of the greatest, egregious, just erroneous doctrines of the Christian religion, that, oh, that's the Old Testament and Jesus fulfilled all that. But then when we go back, we have mountains upon mountains of prophecy that has not been manifested yet. So, y'all willing, I'm going to try to just focus on those that haven't been manifested yet. But Isaiah, his life should be commended, because all of you who've been walking 10 toes down with Abba over these past 5, 10, 12 years, you see how hard it is to stay on the righteous path. You see how hard it is to fight your flesh. And this elder was given the opportunity, the privilege of hearing from Abba over 60-something years. And I'm like, again, when I was doing this research, I'm like, man, I'm looking at myself like, man, Father, take me now before I mess up. Take me now, just put me to sleep. And it's like, bro, you only been gone for like 10 years. I mean, so I had a brother in Christianity, and I love how he used to say this. I can't remember how he used to say it, but back when I was still a young man trying to get back into Christianity, one of my big homies, he had came out of the world, and I was always taught to. We used to work together. I said, man, how you stay away? He's like, I'm trying to. Dad, how you should say it? He said, I'm trying to match my time with Christ, like the world. Somehow he wanted to balance out his worldly run with his Christian run. And I always liked the way he said that, and it stuck with me. And that's where I'm at. And I was like, bro, you haven't even matched your time with Yah. Is not even a third of your worldly run. So why are you getting tired? But in this flesh and fighting these battles, you get tired. And then when you read somebody's resume like Isaiah, Yashayah, like he kept, not saying that he was perfect, like he didn't make no mistakes, but obviously for the Most High to keep talking with him for 60 years, he is to be commended. He is to be commended. So this prophecy is not like in 1 year, 2 nights. This prophecy that he gives us is a span of 60 plus years. The second thing before we continue on, I want to go over to Kazawan 19 and 10. Zamaria, take us to Revelations 19 and 10 before we start. Kazawan 19 and 10. Shemai.
Shema. All right, Revelations 19, verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren, and have the testimony of Yahushua, and I worship Yahweh. For the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy.
What did he say the testimony was?
It's the spirit of prophecy.
This Revelation 19 and 10 is so powerful, and when the Most High revealed it to me a couple years ago, it's one of those tear jerkers. Because here go Yachanan or John about to bow down and worship this angel, this Malachim. And the Malachim said, ho, stop. Don't worship me, I'm your brother. And it's like, we are brothers to the angels. We are brothers to the angels. Let's just let this flow. John or Yachanan is an Israelite. We know culturally, historically, the Israelites are a dark people. So if this angel told him that we're brothers, what do the angels look like? They got to be dark people. They got to be dark people. But that's just a tangent. The angel told John, don't worship me. I'm your brother and your fellow worker. Worship the Father. And he says, because the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. So the testimony, we brought this out years ago. I think my rib said it best. The word testimony in the Shemitic sense was receipts. I believe we said it like that. So testimonies is the receipt. So the receipts of Yahushua, the receipts of the Son is prophecy. So now we have to ask, what prophecies was given to the world? What prophecies was given to the church? That's why rehearsing these oaths and these promises to us is so important, because all the prophecies, I would say the bulk of the positive prophecies are about a nation. They're about a people. It's not about a religion. It's not about a church. It's about a people. So we have many people trying to reach Messiah. Y'all see them videos, they shouting, they dancing, they knocking people out, and they doing the robot in church. And they believe that that's getting them to the Son, the Messiah. But this text, Revelation 19 and 10, is saying the testimony of the Son is the spirit of prophecy. So that's why in these last days, if you don't understand prophecy and you're not properly educated in prophecy, you can be one of the ones deceived by these men with swelling words. Now, we've been saying it for months or years now. Their technology is so advanced. Have y'all seen those videos And listen, I'm not here to judge. If you are doing it, listen, I don't see it in the covenant where it's against the covenant. So that's between you and your father. I choose not to. That's my personal thing. But have y'all seen these videos where people are because of technology they can hug their dead relative? Anybody seen that going around? They got technology so advanced, it's going to be easy to dupe the masses who are unlearned in prophecy. And that's why this may seem redundant, but this is your meat and potatoes. So even during the weeks as you're doing your private studies, make sure that you spend time with the prophets more than anybody else. Y'all willing, if he spares my life, we will get to the other half of the book that the Christians call New Testament. And you're going to see how much of that New Testament is not new. You're going to see how many times the elders wrote, "It is written, it is written, it is written in the days of old. It was said by Moses. It was said by Isaiah." You're going to see why it is imperative that you spend time with these prophets. All right? Any comments or questions about that? All right, Zamario, let's go to the first one. Did I miss a comment? Okay. All right. I'll try to. Babe, can you monitor the chat? The first witness of Mario, we're going to Yah, Isaiah. Yah is salvation. Yah saves. And this is Isaiah chapter 2, verse 2 through 3. Isaiah 2, 2 through 3.
My Isaiah chapter 2, verse 2. For in the last days, the mountain of Yahweh shall be glorious, and the house of Yahweh shall be on top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall come to it. And many nations shall go and say, Come, and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, and to the house of Yahweh, or the Alahayim or of Jacob. And he will tell us his way, and we will walk in it. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of Yahweh out of Yerushalayim.
All praises out the water for that. So there's a lot of meat in these two verses. In the last days, set the setting for us. For in the last days, the mountain of Yah shall be glorious. So the last days is giving us a time placement. And it says, the house of Yah shall be in the mountaintops. It shall be exalted above the hills. All nations shall come to it. We're going to get some more context of the all nations. For right now, let's go with it. And it says, and many nations shall come and say, let us go to the mountain of Yah, and to the house of the power or Alahayim of Jacob. This is something we missed so many years in Christianity and church. This text, now we're reading the Septuagint, but the Masoretic text, the KJV, reads the same. It's calling him the God of Jacob. He's not the God of the world. He's not the God of the church. This text is calling him the God or power of Jacob. We say Alahayim. He's the power of Jacob. And it says, he will tell us his way. Now, when the text say he will tell us his way, this is when the translators go astray. The Father himself is not going to tell the nations his way. It's us, his servants. The other nations who are spared and who say we want to learn of your power, we're going to teach them the way. Because the Abba is just his track record of doing things. Abba himself has never come down to this earth to teach the people. He always sends a representative. So it says that they're going to come to the mountain of our power, and we're going to teach them the Father's ways. Out of Zion shall go forth the law. Here's a 2-for-1. The text say, for in the last days. And it says now, verse 4 ends with, out of Zion shall go forth the law. So if the law is being taught in the last days, where does the church get a new covenant from? It says in the last days. And we know right now, I hate to even say this out loud, but we know the house of the Most High is not glorious. That land right now is one of the most polluted lands in the world. Do the research. That land right now is one of the most abominable places. They got sex trafficking going on, all kind of opioids. What's those? What's the new drug got people zombied out? Amphetamines, how you say it? Fentanyl? I don't know. I ain't into the culture no more. So fentanyl, that place is one of the most polluted places in the world. So it says in the last days, the house of Yah is going to be glorious. We know right now his house is not glorious. So then when we get to, for out of Zion shall go forth the law, well, where you get a New Testament from? Where you get the law has been done away with? Where do you get the law was fulfilled by Christ? If we're reading in the future text, in the last days, the law is going forth out of Zion. This is something we should have pride in. Our land, our homeland is going to be blessed and restored. And the nations who are spared by the Most High's mercy, they get taught by us. So that's something to be proud of. That we are going to be holy again, and we're going to teach the others how to be holy to satisfy our power. This is an oath and a covenant we have that no one can take from us. You can come up with all kind of curriculums and all kind of schools you want. This is specific to Israel. And can we kick it? Can we keep it in context? I don't want to be all day, but if you go back to the beginning of Isaiah's record, Isaiah 1:1, he tells you the audience. Isaiah 1:1 tells you the audience. So you can't come to Isaiah 2 and hijack the record and say, oh, this is Christians. This is the church. Bro, like your reading comprehension is very lean. How can you say, oh, this is the church? No. He said, this is the vision I saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. This is the vision I saw concerning Judah, the southern kingdom, and Jerusalem, meaning the northern kingdom. So when he says in the last days the law should go forth out of Zion, it's no new spiritual Zion that's the church. That's how they've been duping people inside these hell houses. Oh yeah, that the church is now spiritual Zion. Book, chapter, and verse. Don't get me started. Any comments or questions about that? Any comments or questions about that witness? Chef, don't try to instigate, Chef. All right, next witness. Let's go over to Yashayah chapter 4. This chapter is short, but it's a powerful chapter. Isaiah 4, 1 through 6. The entire chapter is powerful.
Shemai, starting at verse 1 of Isaiah chapter 4. Uh-oh. And 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own raiment. Only let thy name be called upon us, and take away our reproach. Verse 2. And in the day of Yahweh shall shine gloriously in counsel on the earth, to exalt and glorify the remnant of Yasharallah. And it shall be that the remnant left in Zion and the remnant left in Yerushalayim, even all that are appointed to life in Yerushalayim, shall be called holy, or Kodash. For Yahweh shall wash away the filth, all praises, of the sons and daughters of Zion, and shall purge out the blood from the midst of them with the spirit of judgment and the spirit of burning. And he shall come, and it shall be and he shall come, and it shall be with regard to every place of Mount Zion, yea, all the region round about it shall a cloud overshadow by day, and there shall be as it were the smoke and light of the fire burning by night. And upon all the glory shall be a defense.
Verse
One more
6.
verse. Yes,
Yep,
sir.
verse 6.
And it shall be for a shadow from the heat, and a shelter under a hiding place from inclemency. Is that I say that right?
Inclement, that translation is poor. Inclement weather.
Okay, inclement of weather and from the rain.
All praise. These 6 verses is enough for us to start shouting, not in that spiritual trance, but in the championship shout like we are the champions. So let's go back up and let's put some cultural context in verse 1, because verse 1 is where a lot of brothers take these silly women to, and to try to prove to them that having multiple women in your bed is of the culture, and that's satanic, that is filthy, that is fornication. Verse 1 says, this is Isaiah 4:1. And 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own raiment. Only let your name be called upon us and take away our reproach. 7 women taking hold of one man here does not constitute a marriage. So this is not a Hebrew marriage. These are women who are either widowed or single. They just want to be protected. So they're saying, we're going to provide for ourselves. So if I'm a husband to you, you don't provide for yourself. According to the culture and the way my father raised me, I provide for you. So these women saying that we're going to eat our own bread and wear our own clothes, this is not a Shemitic marriage. So to all my sisters being duped by these wolves in sheep's clothing, Isaiah 4 does not prove that all these what they call it, polymorphs, or I don't even, they weirdos. This multiple wives doctrine is of weirdos. Isaiah 4 is not condoning or supporting multiple wives. I want to put that in the atmosphere. And then it says, Yahweh shall shine gloriously in the council of the earth and exalt and glorify the remnant of Israel. He's going to exalt and glorify the remnant of Yasharallah. This text is not saying of the church. It's not of the believers. It's not of those who have a master's degree, a doctor of theology. It's not those who I've been to Jerusalem and I prayed on Mount Zion. That don't mean squat. That land is polluted, brother. What are you bragging about? It's saying I'm going to glorify the remnant of Israel. And then this is what's so beautiful. Verse 4, Isaiah 4:4. This is from the Britain Septuagint. For Yahweh shall wash away the filth of the sons and daughters of Zion. Nowhere in this text, please listen to me closely, especially the babes. I've been in this text every day for the last 12 years of my life. I have not found where the Most High is going to purge the sins of the world. I have not found where he's going to purge the sins of the church. I could take you to numerous different people, prophets and apostles, that's promising he's going to purge the sins of Israelites. And that's you and I. That's something to be glad about. I don't care, hey, you shut down my job and furlough me and come repossess my vehicles, lock me up my house. He's going to purge my sins. Because you can have all the wealth of this world. If your sins are not purged, you're dead. So this is something like, this is praise music. He's going to purge the sins of Israelite women and men. And then, so we can move on here, man. I feel like preaching. So give me that A flat. Let's drop down to verse 5. Isaiah 4:5. Slack it. Yeah. Isaiah 4:5. And it shall come to pass, and he shall come, verse 5. And he shall come, and it shall be with regard to every place of Mount Zion. Yes, all the regions round about it shall a cloud overshadow by day, and there shall be as it were the smoke and light of fire burning by night. Where have we heard this language before? A cloud overshadow.
Moses.
Y'all both came together at the same time.
The Exodus.
The Exodus. This is the same language of the Exodus. He gave them a pillar of fire by night to light their way and keep them warm, and then by the day he gave them a cloud to protect them from the heat. This is specific to Israelites. So how can you hijack specific language that we have an example of in the ancient days? This is why their religion don't spend time with the prophets, because you can't keep talking about it's the church and its believers when the church wasn't coming out of Egypt. Believers wasn't coming out of Egypt. It was Israelites coming out of Egypt. This is the same language. This is something that we have to hold on to. So as these days get dark and your money start to get funny and your food start to get funny, hold on to these prophecies. If the Most High see fit to let you fall here, you fall knowing that you shall have victory in Zion. Any comments or questions about this witness? I'm gonna get out the way. Next one, let's go over to chapter 5, 25 through 30. Yashayah 5, 25 through 30. I'm just clipping the highlights, but all these chapters, if we read them from top to bottom, they are wonderful. But I'm just trying to clip the highlights for the sake of time. Yashayah 5 and 25.
Yes, sir. Shemai. Starting at verse 25. Therefore, Yahweh Tazabah was greatly angered against his people, and he reached forth his hand upon them and smote them, and the mountains were troubled, and their carcasses were as dung in the midst of the way. Yet for all this his anger has not been turned away, but his hand is yet raised. Therefore shall he lift up a signal to the nations that are afar, and shall hiss for them from the end of the earth. And behold, they are coming very quickly.
So this puts some context on the word nations, and I'm not going to steal Shamaria's thunder. I know the brother is still building his witnesses and classes, but it's just we just keep running into these witnesses. The church keep reading the word nations and Gentiles in the text, and they think that's disproving our claim that these prophecies are about the Israelites only. So they read the pagan word nations or Gentiles and say, see, it's Gentiles too. And you have to really take your time and slow down here. So it says, verse 26 saying he's going to lift up a signal to the nations that are far off. But these nations that he's lifting the signal up to, they have to fall under the umbrella of verse 25. They have to fall under the umbrella of verse 25, the people that he afflicted. So this is how you have to turn the music off. Stop letting the pastor impress you with all those, screaming and antics he doing. I'm preaching better than y'all saying amen. Stop that. Stop that. Pastor, let's get some understanding. You're trying to tell me that the signal is for the nations, but the nations have to fall under the prefaces here of verse 25, the people I afflicted. If you're not part of the people he afflicted, verse 26 is not talking about you. Read on, Op.
All right, verse 27. They shall not hunger nor be weary, neither shall they slumber nor sleep. Neither shall they lose their girdles from their loins, neither shall their shoe latchets be broken.
Where have
Verse
we
20.
heard this, Slakia? Where have we heard this before? Neither was their shoe latches broken.
The Exodus.
The Exodus. 2+, that's why I'm telling y'all, family, don't let these people, whether they be Hebrew Israelites or Christians, don't let them try to over spiritualize things and let's get this organ in here, let's get the shouting. Like, bro, this thing is not super. Just read the language. He says that they're not going to sleep or slumber, meaning they're not going to die anymore. Neither should their shoes be broken. That means the same Yeezys that you've been wearing for 5 years is going to take you into to Zion. The same Air Force Ones is going to take. This is the same language of the Exodus. So how can a Christian hijack these promises from us? You can't spiritualize this text. This is not spiritual sons of Zion. This is not spiritual sons of Abraham. This is the same language of the ones coming out of Egypt. This is why we take pride in knowing who we are and whose we are. We don't care who's scoff and laugh, and you want to have the hour debates, and your positions, your theology is not matching prophecy. And Revelation 19:10 says the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. So your theology don't match prophecy. That's why I have no desire to go on people's channels and debate them. Just read the text to me and make sure it lines up with prophecy, and we'll be all good. Read on, Op. I'm sorry, you had something?
Olivia, I think this was from the last example. Jeremiah 9, 23 and 4.
Sister Olivia offered Jeremiah 9, 24.
23 and 4. 24, I'm sorry. 23 and 24.
So the water for that witness, let me see where Jeremiah 9. And they jump off the page once you start seeing them. You said 9 and 24?
23 and 24.
Jeremiah 9. Jeremiah, I got my little Bible. Jeremiah 9:23 says, Thus saith Yahweh, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might, let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understands and knoweth me, that I am Yahweh, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I have delight, saith Yahweh. All praises. They take pride in being, you know, Greek students, and I've been to Israel, and I teach classes online. These people take pride in their knowledge, but their knowledge, their theology don't match the prophecies. So why don't we for that witness, sis? Anybody else have something else? Anybody else? Let me slow down. I'm getting excited, man. Oh, bless you, God. Yes, Lord. So we stopped at verse 27. Their shoe latches shall not be broken. Verse 28.
Yes, sir. Whose arrows are sharp and their bows bent. Their horses' hooves are counted as solid rock. Their chariot wheels are as a storm. They rage as lions and draw nigh as a lion's whelps. And he shall seize and roar as a wild beast, and he shall cast them forth, and there shall be none to deliver them. And he, verse 30, and he shall roar on account of them in that day as the sound of a swelling sea, and they shall look to the land, and behold, there shall be a thick darkness in their perplexity.
Man, this really caught my attention this morning as I was going over the notes. So this is the Father restoring us, restoring His army. This is all military talk. That's all, Father. Thank you. Oh, Kaya Dalaya Hawaba Shami Habashai. This is all military talk. Their horses' hooves. He says, "I will." Somebody has something. The horses' hooves is going to be as iron. Their bows. This is military talk. So this matches Ezekiel, the valley of the dry bones. I see a great and exceeding army standing upon their feet. This is all our oaths and covenants. We're going to be restored. And then we got Chef's favorite verse, Isaiah 50, is it? We are the battle axes. I think Isaiah 50 or 55. This is all military talk. The Most High is restoring the sons of Zion, and now we are His army again. And nobody's going to be able to deliver these nations out of our hands. This is what we have to look forward to. So dwell on these prophecies more than you're dwelling on the shutdown. Dwell on these prophecies, and I'm talking to myself as well. Dwell on these prophecies more than your bank account. No one can take this from us. And the way things are going, I'm praying that it happens tonight. This can happen any minute. The Most High is setting the stage up. Nobody likes America no more. I don't know if y'all been paying attention. Nobody really likes this country no more. Nope. Everybody is forsaking the whore. It's happening in front of our eyes if you're paying attention. No one likes the whore anymore. No one likes her anymore. They're just tolerating her right now. And in the blink of an eye, the Most High is going to raise them up to attack the whore. And make sure you're not attached to the whore. That's a tangent. Any comments or questions about that? Any comments or questions? The next one, witness number 28, is Isaiah chapter 11, 10 through 13. Chapter 11, 10 through 13. We're going to see how far we can get.
Shemai, starting at verse 10. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, and he that shall arise to rule over the scattered Israelites or Gentiles, and him shall the Gentiles trust, and his rest shall be glorious. And it shall be in that day that Yahweh shall again show his hand to be zealous for the remnant that is left of the people, which shall be left by the Assyrians, and that from Egypt, and from the country of Babylon, and from Ethiopia, and from the Elamites, and from the rising of the sun, and out of Arabia. And he shall lift up a standard for the nations, and he shall gather the lost ones of Yasharallah, And he shall gather the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Yes, sir.
Come
And
on
the
now.
envy, yes, sir. And the
Come on.
envy of Ephraim shall be taken away, and the enemies of Judah shall perish. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not afflict Ephraim.
So this is where we got to put cultural context back into it. We got to kick it. Just keep it in context. And again, I don't want to steal or spoil Shamaria's class, but it's going to be glorious when he presents it. You have to keep that word nations into context because the translators, they can't match us word for word. But the word Gentile, meaning nations, can cover us too. But the context, he's telling you who these people are. These are the ones been scattered by the Assyrians. Because at this time, remember, I opened up with Isaiah is covering like 60-something years. He's prophesying 60-something years. So at this time that he's prophesying, Assyria is controlling the world. My father. Assyria is now the king of Babylon. And there's historical research that Assyria had ruled far as Spain. This is what they don't father. They don't take the time to learn. They just want to have a good time. They want to have put on a show. It's a production when you go to church. These videos that these people are putting out here are embarrassing. But Assyria is now, at this part of the prophecy, Assyria is ruling the world. And they are the ones oppressing us. So he's saying that I'm going to stretch forth my hand to gather my remnant that the Assyrians have scattered. Because now it's Assyria's turn. Oh, like the prophet says, every nation has ruled over us. And at this time in world history, it's the Assyrians ruling over us, and they have scattered us to fight their wars. And again, Assyria has ruled as far as Spain. As far as Spain. So when you read that word nations, you have to slow down and get some context of who these people are. He says, I'm going to gather my people that's been dispersed. And then verse 13, and the envy of Ephraim shall be taken away, and the enemies of Judah shall perish. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not afflict Ephraim. This is the mystery of Galatians. This is the mystery of Galatians that the church keep missing. I believe it's Galatians 3. When it says that the middle wall or baby, can you somebody check me Galatians 3? Because I don't want to be out here.
About Ephesians.
It's Ephesians 3, the middle wall of petitions.
It's Ephesians. Yeah, I don't know exactly which chapter, but it's.
My rib's going. I think it's either Ephesians 6 or Ephesians 3. While she's getting that, I just don't want to put out bad information. The church take you to these letters of Paul, especially Ephesians, and where it says the middle wall of partitions has been broken down by the blood of Christ. That middle wall of partition is not between the Jews and the world. It's not between the Hebrews and the world. That middle, Slakia, go ahead.
It's Ephesians 2. I got it on the slide up here. Ephesians 2 and 14.
Ephesians 2 and 14.
Mm-hmm.
Read that for me, Op.
Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 14. It says, for he is our peace who have made both one and have broken down the middle wall of partition between us.
So this is where they take people to when we're telling them that we're the people of the covenant and we're Israelites, we are the seed of Abraham. They take people to Ephesians 2 and says none of that matters because Christ has broken down that middle wall of partition. That middle wall of partition we're reading here in Isaiah. It's between Ephraim, which is a metaphor for northern Israel, and Judah. The two houses of Israel have been divided since the days of Solomon. And those two houses of Israel have never been reunited. We have been having, what's that word they call it? Civil war. We've been having civil war inside of Israel since Solomon sinned with all those women. You want to have multiple wives? Look at Solomon. That's a tangent. Anyway, That middle wall of partition in Ephesians chapter 2 is not Christ uniting some new, creating some new Christian body, some new body of believers. That middle wall partition, he's telling them, those those Gentiles, those Israelite Gentiles, those wicked Gentiles who were sacrificing to Diana, those wicked Gentiles, Israelites who stopped circumcising their son, they have been forgiven by the blood of a Mashiach. They can come back home into the covenant. So you Jews who you're bragging that you kept the traditions, but you still killed an innocent man. So you Jews who kept the traditions, y'all kept circumcising your sons, you kept offering sacrifices, but you still had an innocent man condemned to death. Y'all don't have a leg to stand on either. So now the tribe of Judah, or the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, both of y'all did wrong, but by the blood of Hamashiach, you guys have been reunited. This is the education the church ain't teaching the Most High's people. This is why my heart bleeds when I see our people being duped, have all these gatherings, all these celebrations, and you ain't learning nothing about true history. That middle wall petition is between two sets of Israelites. Okay, so I just want to point that out. Did we finish that up, Al?
I have something in the chat here.
Go ahead, read it out, sis.
This is the battle axe witness, Jeremiah 51, 20 to 24.
Con, I be calling. Listen, my mind, y'all pray for my mind. It was Jeremiah 51 is the battle axe. Again,
That was Nehemiah.
these digital tools are convenient, but you forget where things are really at. So the reason why we're pulling Jeremiah 51 is because Isaiah 11 is military talk. It's military talk. And just as a witness that this is about Israelites, we got Jeremiah 51 and 20. Jeremiah 51 and 20, I'll read it from the Masoretic text just for the sake of time. Jeremiah 51 and 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee, the Israelites, I will break in pieces the Gentiles, the nations. And with thee, I will destroy kingdoms. I will destroy the world kingdoms by you, the Israelites. This is matching what we're reading here in Isaiah 11, that he says, where we started at. The water, babe. Isaiah 11 and verse 10. A root of Jesse, he's going to arise to rule over the Gentiles, and in him the Gentiles shall trust. Okay. His rest shall be glorious. Okay. Then it continues on. Oh, Slocky, that last witness was about the war. Okay, I'm Slocky. I'm on fire right now. That last witness was the war talk. So that's why we pulled Jeremiah 51 and 20. If you go back to the last witness, Isaiah 5 to 25, our horses, the hooves is going to be like iron. He's talking about our bows, our arrows. This is war talk. So that put in perspective who he's talking to. He's talking to Israelites. You guys are going to be restored. You guys are the mighty army. You guys are my battle axe. The righteous Israelites who repent and come back to the covenant, we are going to destroy these world kingdoms by the power of Yah. The water for that witness. Any comments or questions about that one? Let me slow down. I feel like I'm rushing y'all. Any comments or questions about Isaiah 11? All right. The water up. Shamaria, can you take us? We may not get to these last ones. Let's see how far we can get. Let's go to Isaiah 12, 1 through 6. Isaiah 12, 1 through 6.
Isaiah chapter 12. And in that day thou shalt say, O Yahweh, I will praise thee. Though thou wast angry with me, thine anger is turned away, and thou comforted me.
So,
Behold,
So this is how we kick it. This is how we keep it in context, because the church they want to hijack our blessings. The church want to hijack our covenant, but the text say you were angry with me. Who can we prove with the scriptures the Most High has been angry with? Israelites. We can't show he's been angry with the world. We can't show he's been angry with the church. We can show he's been angry with the Israelites because he allowed us to go into slavery, into bondage. He allowed the other nations to rule over us. So this is something, just how you just sit people down, and passions do rise, because I'm passionate. This belongs to me. This is my inheritance. Can you imagine you sitting on your front porch and you just taking a sip of your Kool-Aid, and somebody coming the street and walking off with your bike? What, you want to sit there like, hey bro, where you going? No, you're gonna hop off the porch like, bro, where you think you going with my bike? That's how I feel about this covenant. I'm listening to people so polished and smooth. They got education. Their church is a mega church. I've been around the world. I got a G4 plane. So your G4 plane means that the Most High is with you. That's how the world measures success. My church seats 10,000. I've been to Jake's Women That Are Loose conference. They measure their accolades in a worldly barometer. None of that makes sense to us. So when I hear people, oh yeah, the church has come now and the blood of Christ, yeah, I get passion. You're not about to take my covenant from me. And I'm tired of you duping my little brothers and sisters. He said you were angry with me. He's only been angry with the children of Israel because we got the covenant, we knew better. Any comments or questions about that? Read on, Og, if you want.
Maria has that hand up.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I can't see.
You good? Just and I think I just got the answer to my question because I heard what you said. But just to make sure, just for clarity, the Most High has only been angry with Yasharala. So would so when he when he flooded the earth with Noah, was that because of Israelites, or what was that? Just for clarity.
No, great question, because that's where they run to. That's a great question. In the period of Noah's flood, that whole generation, we were all the sons of Yah. He had, at that time, that's a wonderful, wonderful question, because that's where they go. At that period, he had not cast off any nations yet. Everybody was still his sons. They just were being rebellious. So I love it. I'm glad you said that. That was perfect timing, because they go back to Noah's flood and said he punished the world. But then, okay, let's continue reading what happened after the flood. After the flood, it says that the earth became even more wicked. And so now, after the flood, post-flood or post-deluge, he says, I searched and found one plant. So I'm glad you asked that question, Zamoria, because that's what they do. They run back to Adam. Adam's the father of the whole world. Noah, the whole earth flooded under Noah. You're correct. But post-flood, what happened post-flood? That generation post-flood became more wicked, and that's when the father says, I found one plant. I found one seed, and that's the seed of Abraham. That makes sense?
Absolutely.
Great question, because that's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do. Any other comments or questions before we move on? Did we finish that up? No.
Isaiah chapter 2, verse 2, it says, Behold, Elohim is my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid. For Adonai Yahweh is my strength and my song. He is also become my salvation. Therefore,
I'm sorry, go ahead and finish that up. Where are we going down to?
You said the whole thing.
Where we at?
Isaiah 12.
1 through 6. I'm sorry. My spirit is on fire, y'all.
Therefore, with joy shall you draw water out of the wells of salvation. And in that day shall you say, Praise Yahweh, call upon his name, declare his doings among the people, make mention that his name is exalted. Sing unto Yahweh, for he have done excellent things. This is known in all the Arataza. Cry out and shout, you inhabitant of Tazawan, O great, for great is the Holy One of Yasharallah in the midst of thee.
Great is the Holy One in the midst of you, Zion. Not in the midst of the church, in the midst of Zion. This is about us. This is our oaths. These are our oaths and covenants. What caught my attention, and I loved it, back verse 2, it says, Behold, my God is my Savior. What is that phrase? What one name satisfies that phrase? God is my Savior. Behold, my God is my Savior.
Isaiah. um,
Come.
Alayasha. Alayasha.
Yahweh Shai, all what y'all saying, we saying the same thing. Isaiah, Yashayah, Yahweh Shai, Yah is my Savior. Yah is my Savior. That's the power of our language. When I saw that, I'm like, Messiah's name's right there. Yahweh Shai, Yah is my Savior. I would trust him and not be afraid. And then it says, the Lord is my glory and my praise. That's Judah. Yahweh means Yah is to be praised. This is the cultural context that they can't take from us, especially when you learn your language. Saying Judah really has no power. Jerusalem has no power. But when you know that his name is Yah or Yahweh, and Yahweh means praise Yah, now this text is my text. Now you can put it in Greek and Latin, and you can put it in German and dupe people. But when I tell you that my father's name is Yahweh, and Yahweh means Yah is to be praised, hey bro, this is my family photo album. What are you doing on my family photo album? You can't lie to his people no more. He's back with his people, and we shall be as lions upon this earth. Any comments or questions about that witness? Let's go to the next one, Isaiah 13 and 9 through 20. We may be able to finish up. I mean, this just gets me riled up. This feeds my spirit. Isaiah 13, 9 through 20.
One second, I'm trying to.
Take your time. Where we at? Time.
All right. So Isaiah 13 and Septuagint. Isaiah 13 verse 9. For behold, the day of Yahweh is coming, which can't be escaped. A day of wrath and anger to make the world desolate and to destroy sinners out of it. For the stars of the Shemayim and Orion and all the hosts of the Shemayim shall not give their light, and it shall be dark at sunrise, and the moon shall not give her light. And I will command evils for the whole world, and will visit their sins, the sins on the ungodly. And I will destroy the pride of transgressors, and will bring low the pride of the haughty. And they that are left shall become more precious than gold tried in the fire, and a man shall be more precious than the stone that is in the sulfur. For the heaven shall be enraged, and the earth shall be shaken from her foundation, because of the fierce anger of Yahweh Tazabayam in the day that is his wrath, in the day in which his wrath shall come on. Is that it? Oh, you said through 20?
Down to 20. Yep, we're going down to 20.
And they that are left shall be as a fleeing fawn and as a stray sheep, and there shall be none to gather them, so that a man shall turn back to his people, and a man shall flee to his own land. For whoever shall be taken shall be overcome, and they that are gathered together shall fall by the sword, and they shall dash their children before their eyes, and they shall spoil their houses and shall take their wives. Behold, I will stir up against you the Medes, who do not regard silver, neither have they of gold. They shall break the bows of young men, and they shall have no mercy on your children, nor shall their eyes spare your children. And Babylon, which is called glorious by the king of the Chaldeans, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall any enter into it for many generations, neither shall the Arabians pass through it, nor shall shepherds at all rest in it.
All praises. So I pulled this witness because this is another proof text that you can't call these writings Old Testament. Calling this half of the book Old Testament is deceitful and is not in line with prophecy, because this right here, some of this happened during Isaiah's time and some of it has not happened yet. So let's go back up and let's kick it. Let's keep it in context. Because on the surface, it looked like the Most High is punishing the world. It says, verse 9 says, "For behold, the day of Yah is coming, which can't be escaped, a day of wrath and anger to make the world desolate." To make the world desolate. But if we keep going, he's destroying sinners out of it. But then if we drop down, we get the context. He says, "They that are left shall be more precious than gold tried in the fire." That's Hebraic context, because the remnant is always referring to Israelites. But even more context says that verse 16, "And they shall dash their children before their eyes, and they shall spoil their houses." This is all part of our curses for disobeying him. So this fierce day of the Most High's anger is not against the world, meaning the whole world. It's against the world of Israelites. His fierce anger here is being acted out against the Israelites, and your children are going to be dashed to pieces. That's the same language back in Deuteronomy 28. So this is how these pastors and these polished theologians dupe people. The whole world is being punished. Nah, the whole world had never experienced their children being dashed to pieces. This is part of the contract we agreed upon in Deuteronomy 28. So this great day of the Most High's fierce anger is not against the world. It's against the Israelites. It's against the Israelites. And then to let you know that some of this is in the future tense, because it says, verse 20, it says, or verse 19, "And Babylon, which is called glorious by the king of the Chaldeans, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah." Verse 20 says, "Babylon shall never be inhabited, neither shall any enter into it for many generations, neither shall the Arabians pass through it, nor shall shepherds at all rest in it." So the verse 20 is letting you know some of this is future context, because Babylon, we now know, is Iraq. Iraq is not desolate. People are living there right now. How my man said, to this day. To this day, people are living in Babylon. The Most High's word says Babylon is going to be desolate. So this is a 2-for-1. The Most High's fierce anger against the world, la'ah. His fierce anger is against his sons and daughters, the Israelites. The Israelites. And then he says, in the future, the nations that I use to punish you, they're going to be as Sodom and Gomorrah in the future. So I want to point that out. Again, this is just destroying Christian dogma just in just war mode. You can't call these letters old if things haven't happened yet. So Isaiah's prophecy, some happened during his day, some happened after his day, and some is going to happen in our day. Any comments or questions about that witness? We may be able to get through these last two. Any comments or questions? Nobody in the chat? All right, let's go to Isaiah 14, 1 through 3, and then we're going to jump around. Isaiah 14, 1 through 3. This is a staple.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. "And Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob, and yet choose Yasharallah, and they shall rest on their land."
They shall do what?
They shall rest on their land.
Are those people resting on the land right now?
La.
They just had a so-called peace treaty, and it's like it's falling apart. It's smoke and mirrors. That's why you really can't trust the news broadcast over here, because the news broadcast here is all programming. It's copyright. Copyright means someone has wrote the script for them to say. You don't know what's really going on. So right now, they don't have peace in that land. This letting you know this is future tense. Future tense. Read on up.
And the stranger shall be added to them. Yes, shall be added to the house of Yahweh. And the Gentiles shall take them and bring them into their place, and they shall inherit them, and they shall be multiplied upon the land for servants and handmaids. And they that took them captives shall become captives to them, and they that had lordship over them shall be under their rule.
This is music to my ears. This is music to my ears. I don't have no desire to whip people and burn people. That's not in my heart. But this text saying that the people who took the Israelite captives are now becoming captives to the Israelites. And the people who ruled over the Israelites are now being ruled by the Israelites. If God loves everybody the same, why is one nation being restored to rule over the other nations? Because this was part of our covenant. This goes back to us coming out of the wilderness. Deuteronomy 4 says that if you keep my commandments, you should be the head and not the tail. All the nations going to come and borrow from you. You should be the lender and not the borrower. So this is us being restored back to the covenant. This is us being turned right side up. This is future tense. This hasn't happened yet. Read on up.
Verse 3. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall give you rest from your sorrow and vexation, and from your hard servitude wherein you did serve them.
All right, so now we're going to jump down to verse 31, just for context. Verse 31.
Verse 31. Howl, you gates of cities. Let the cities be troubled and cry, even all the Philistines, for smoke is coming from the north, and there is no possibility of living.
So this is letting you know that a lot of this is how they dupe people. Oh, that's been fulfilled. The Israelites have never been captives over their captors. So this has not been fulfilled. If you go back, I can't do it for the sake of time, but you guys are Bereans. If you go back and check all the captivities, we never brought the ones who took us captives, we never brought them back to Jerusalem as our captors. Every time the Most High sprung us from a captivity, we were just happy. Some of us, it's going to happen again. Some of us didn't want to leave Babylon. When Cyrus gave the edict that who of the Most High's people want to go back to Jerusalem, family, it was some people backing out of Dodge like, I like it here. I don't want to go back to Jerusalem. It's going to happen here too. But my point is, none of our previous captivities can you read that when the Most High restored the people, our ancestors didn't take the people captives. We just happily went back home and rebuilt the land. So this right here in Isaiah 14 is future context. And then verse 31 saying that how you gates of cities, let the cities be troubled and cry, even all the Philistines, for smoke is coming from the north, and there is no possibility of living. You can't escape. Now Philistines, that label Philistines has been convoluted. Philistines also covers the Canaanites. Philistines also covered the Canaanites. These theologians with their translations, they don't always get it right. So the Philistines, there's no escaping death. Or you Canaanites, there's no escaping death. Because Canaan went into our land when he transgressed Noah's law, that none of the sons would encroach on the brother's inheritance. What Canaan says, I want Jerusalem. And Canaan went and took Jerusalem. And now because of that, you Canaanites being labeled Philistines, there's no way you're escaping death. Right now, to this day, we have Canaanites on this earth. So if Canaanites are still living right now, this is future prophecy. This is why it's very imperative. I'm just beating a dead horse. You have to learn prophecy like the back of your hand. Because when this technology goes dark and we can't get on the internet no more, we can't Zoom no more, we can't YouTube no more, you best believe they're going to use this technology to put all kind of images in the sky and he's here, he's there, Slakia. He's here, he's there. You have to know these prophecies. Any comments or questions about that witness? All right, all praises. We got one more. We out of here. It's still kind of early. You guys can get back to Real Housewives. Let's go to Isaiah 25. Isaiah 25, 6 through 9. Isaiah 25, 6 through 9. And we're going to park here just so we're not rushing through the slides.
Isaiah chapter 25, verse 6. And Yahweh Tazabah shall make a feast for all the nations. On this mount they shall drink gladness. On this mount they shall drink gladness. They shall drink wine. They shall anoint themselves with ointment in this mountain. Impart you all these things to the nations. For this is Most High's counsel upon all the nations. Verse 8. Death has prevailed and swallowed men up, but again, Yahweh Elohim has taken away every tear from every face. He has taken away the reproach of his people from all the earth.
Of who? Of who?
Of his people.
So we have to stop and do this because we're educating. We're not preaching. We're not singing. We're not here, put on a production. We're educating the Most High's people. These translations have been given to us by people who were not our people. And I'm not saying all the translators were evil. Maybe some of these translators did have a righteous heart and they're trying to do a good thing. It's just the facts of the case. When you're using these words like nations and people, we have to put it in context. So verse 6 says that the Most High is going to have a feast for all the nations. And the church is going to stop there and start singing and shouting and rejoicing. I'm ready to feast. Who's ready to feast? I'm ready to feast. Give me some ham. Like, what? Like, no. This feast for the nations, he tells you the context when he says, but again, Yahweh has taken away every tear from every face. He has taken away the reproach of his people. He has taken away the reproach of his people. So when it says that he's making a feast for the nations, we have to keep reading. This feast for the nations are the 12 tribes of Israel, 12 tribes of Yasher Allah. We're having a feast upon Mount Zion. Mount Zion belongs to us. This is how we have to kick it, keep it in context. We have to slow it down. We're teaching the Most High's people. We're resurrecting a nation. That's what we're doing here. Any comments or questions?
What translation is he reading from?
The Britain Septuagint. I got it right there.
Okay.
Read on out.
Verse 9. And in that day they shall say, behold, our Elohim in whom we have trusted, and he shall save us. This is Yahweh. We have waited for him, and we have exalted, and we will rejoice in our salvation.
If that wasn't enough, verse 9 just comes out and tell you this feast upon Mount Zion are the Israelites, because it says we have waited for Yah. What nation, let's just be honest, what nation right now is waiting on Yah? There's no nation waiting on Yah but us Israelites. Everybody else has their power. The Christian church, they're waiting on this deity called Jesus. This deity called Jesus doesn't exist where we come from. So verse 9, if it wasn't clear, verse 9 definitely clears it up. We have waited on you. We have waited on Yah. And he is our salvation. This is why we call Yahweh Shai, because we know Yah is our salvation and he's saving us by his son. He's gathering us by the blood of his son. So this is Oaths and Covenants part 8. We just ran through a quick 8. I don't want to rush. I want you to enjoy the rest of the day. But I also at the same time, I don't want to do a disservice to the Most High. Anybody has any comments or questions about the witnesses we went through today?
Yeah, I had a few. With regarding with what you were saying earlier, I pulled up this verse, Ecclesiasticus 1, verse 1, and I'll read it. It says, "For the same things uttered in Hebrew or Ibarium and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them, and not only these things, but the law itself, or Torah, and the prophets, and the rest of the books have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language." I'll yield when I say
Absolutely. That's why we take the time to learn our original language, because our elder right here in the prologue to Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, he's letting the people know, forgive us. We have tried to translate the elder's writings into Greek. So now, because at this time in our history, the Greeks are dominating the world, and a lot of us are now speaking Greek and we're reading Greek, even though we're Israelites. So he's letting them know, uh, don't trust too much in these translations, because when you translate the Torah and the rest of the Hebrew writings into other languages, they don't have the same power as the Hebrew tongue. And that's the whole point of this series, destroying Christian dogma as well. Even the letters of the apostles, the Greek translations fall short of what those apostles really wrote. So that's a very powerful witness. We've been using it for years, and all praise the Most High is continuing to remind us of these things. That's why being a cultural Israelite is just unlike any. It's a beautiful experience when your light bulb goes off and you start to see these things in Scripture. It's a wonderful experience, and I love seeing everybody get their own experience. Any other comments or questions about these witnesses?
I can share my screen real quick.
Con, I think you have the you are co-host.
It's just a witness. We already brought it out before, but just backing up what you were saying, we was reading from the Septuagint, and again, that word that they use right there for I only got one screen, so it's kind of
Hold
hard.
on, it's not sharing, y'all.
It's sharing on here.
Sharing on yours?
Yep.
Why can't I see it?
But I can't move the thing.
Okay, yeah, no, you good, you good. I see it now.
I can't. Your little block is up there in the way.
Let me see if I can move that. Uh, Let me hide that. Let me see. How about now?
Is it on? Ask Gomaria. Can she see it?
I can't see it, the block on our screen.
It may take a minute.
She said she can or she can't.
I can't see it.
She
I
can.
can see your whole screen.
Okay, that's fine then. It's fine. So yeah, just that, like when it says, I see it. It says, I think in the KJV it might say all people, but read it in the Septuagint, it said all nations, and the word that they use there, for nation or people is the word or ama. And you see here it says persons, number 2, persons, members of one's peoples, compatriots or countrymen or kinsmen or kindred, because the way I had did it, the whole thing is really just about bringing all 12 tribes back together. But then here you can see it says often used of Israel as being the people of Yah or God. And then when you go down, it says number 1 of single races or tribes, often the tribes of Israel. And then down at the bottom, it says to be gathered to one's people.
Ah man, that's a game over. That's game over. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's not funny because people don't. It's not funny. That's a great witness, and people are not going, and that's why we feel sorry for those who, are not exposed to, what the Most High has blessed us with. Because you read these translations, and these people can dupe you with these English and pagan words, but when you go further, and in context, being gathered together, remnant, being at rest. These are all Hebrewisms, things specific, promises left to us. He has not left the world no promises of peace. He has not left the world no promises to be gathered. He has not left the world no promises to be on Mount Zion. All these things, and then y'all willing, I'm taking my time. You know, I'm not rushing through this. It's too important. But y'all willing, I will get to the so-called New Testament, and we can show how it's the same promises that they're waiting on. It's the same promises they're waiting on in the so-called New Testament period. So all praises. This is our meat and potatoes. This is what we're going to hang our hat on. Let their world economy collapse. Let your job collapse. You got promises not of this system. Please don't be one of the ones getting depressed and trying to cause harm to yourself. And I guess I'll go ahead and eat this rat sandwich. No. If the Most High don't provide, I'm out of here. I die of starvation. I'm not eating no rat sandwich. Well, you know, if you put a little bit of cayenne on it, you can't tell the difference. Man, please get that foolishness out of here. All praise to the great I am. That's all I have, family. This is Oath of the Covenant, Part 8. Shamoya Thawada for carrying the load. Any other comments or questions? Somebody asked that scripture again. That was the one Shamoya just shared.
I think that's an old one.
That's an old one?
That's an old message. I think it was.
Okay.
Someone put it in there. Ecclesiastes 1:1.
All right. All praise to the great.
Shalakia.
Go ahead.
I did. I think the young brother. I think Joel. I believe it was. That Ecclesiastes 1:1. I was trying to see where was he reading that out of?
Anybody want to offer? Because I didn't catch that.
The prologue of
It's the prologue of Sirach.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Khan.
Yeah, that's the prologue to Sirach. And it just we're finding multiple witnesses to corroborate that. These translations, man, I don't want to hold y'all up. The Greek was the first translation, and then I think Martin Luther went and did the not Martin Luther. After the Greek translation, Jerome went and made the Latin Vulgate. Vulgate comes from vulgar, and it means everyday speech. So he put our scrolls into Latin so the Roman people can read it. And then after Jerome, here comes Martin Luther, the German. He makes a German copy. And what's been happening over years, people are going to these pagan translations and reading how they translated it and saying that now that translation is authoritative. That's what the writer really means. How can you go back to a German and talk about that's what Paul really meant? How Martin Luther translated? No, you have to go back to the DABARYAM language to find out what Paul, Mark, Luke really meant. Even though you got a Greek translation, we got to go back to the DABARYAM roots. But the church or organized religion, they've been going to the Latin Vulgate, the German translations, trying to find out, oh, this is what the text really mean. Yeah, Israel was just a microcosm of God's great mercy, but now God got an ultimate plan of salvation for mankind, and he's working it out through his son. And it sounds good, but Pastor, you don't have no text to support that. That's a tangent. Let me let y'all go. Any last comments or questions? I love y'all all with the love of Yah.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. All praises, man. I'm glad that the brother brought that out because I went back into my apocrypha and I actually had something highlighted that I don't know when this was, but I meant to ask you about this. I was confused because in this passage it says Jesus, the son of Sirach. So I was wondering. Of course, we know Jesus is trash, but I'm presuming that they're talking about Yahweh or maybe a Joshua. Could you shed light on that for me? What that's referring to, or
Yeah, you got
somebody?
it. No, you got it. You said just what it was. It was just another one of our elders being named after Yahweh because that's our culture. Like you name your children of great people of your tribe. Most times, maybe your father or your grandfather. So his name is Yahweh son of Sirach, and so his dad named him probably because of Joshua the son of Nun. He was a great figure throughout our whole world history. So Rock named his son after I'm assuming, because I don't think, no, during the Greek captivity, I don't think when he penned this, I don't think Yahweh Shai had come in the flesh yet. So I don't have no proof text to verify it. I'm just, because most of Sirach is the Greek captivity before the New Testament period. So I'm just assuming, I can't prove this, but I don't think Yahweh Shai, the son of Yah, was born yet. So more than likely, he's naming his son Yahweh Shai after Yahweh Shai, or Joshua of Nun, the one who brought us into Jerusalem. If that makes sense. All praise. Any other comments or questions? I know it's all right. All praise to the great I am. These are things that, if we were together, we would have, praise breaks, be just joyous about. But all praise for this virtual space and the Most High giving us a way to keep each other uplifted. Y'all willing, I get this chopped up in a couple of days so you guys can peruse it. And again, we invite anybody, tour group or outsiders, anything that doesn't line up, if you can show us with love where we have to correct something, that's what we're going to do, because we don't care about being, wrong. It's about uplifting the Most High's people. But this is Oaths and Covenants Part 8, and this is what we're holding on to. So we give all honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, our soon coming King. If all hearts and minds are clear, Zamaria, can you take us out?